What's up, y'all? It's your guy, eBay Fight Predictions in the building. And this is your Arman Tsarukyan versus Charles Oliveira breakdown. I love this fight at UFC 300. A great title eliminator at the card. So here's the thing about this fight in terms of card placement. Obviously, how does this match up against Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway? And who really gets the title shot? And I think that's kind of one of the biggest dilemmas at UFC 300 is lightweight contention right now. Because I feel like Islam has looked like the man lately at lightweight. And it's been kind of hard to find him a true contender. Now, obviously, Charles was supposed to fight him, but he lost his shot. Justin Gaethje looked incredible against Dustin Poirier. And if he goes out there and beats Max Holloway, how can you deny the man who's on a 3-fight win streak a title shot? But at the same time, if Charles Oliveira goes out there and beats Beneil Dariush, a man that, in my humble opinion, was supposed to fight for the belt, honestly, he kind of got robbed due to that Volk situation with Islam Makhachev. Just my humble opinion. And if he goes out there and beats Arman Tsarukyan, how can you deny him? Now, I feel like who has the better performance is really who steals the show, and that's going to be a tough task, tall task to accomplish. But I think I'm not the biggest fan of either of these guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck right now. But we all know what Charles Oliveira brings to the table. He's fun. He's action-packed, and he always brings a finish. And you never know. Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje can be a legitimate war. And Charles Oliveira might finish Arman Tsarukyan quicker than Max does, or Justin, or either Max does each other. And I think Charles might get it. So that's kind of like my prediction on how I'm feeling about the fight. I think you guys can already know where I'm leaning towards. Now, some of you guys might wonder why I might dislike both of them. I feel like both of them have become massively overrated, especially Charles. At one point, I really, at one point in his title reign, it was getting annoying, bro. It really was getting annoying. The champion has a name, and it's Charles Oliveira, And you don't want to hear that every damn day. You know what I'm saying? You just don't. It's not fun. It's not cool. That's why I was rooting so hard for Beneil to beat him. But obviously he won that fight. And funnily enough, or sadly enough, an eBay situation, Beneil's my guy, and both these guys have wins over Beneil Dariush. Both of them knocked them out. Sadly in the first round, which is just so weird, back to back. And it's kind of weird. Like, obviously, like, let's talk about it. Beneil's fight with Charles was a little longer than Arman's. I thought Beneil was doing some good things in the grappling, got him down. I thought he controlled him for a long period of time. Charles got up, and then Charles lands this nice head kick, proceeds with the rear hook. I thought Beneil shot for a takedown, but looked like he got hurt, and then Charles proceeds to ground and pound him to death. And in Arman's situation, on the other hand, Arman goes for this knee. And it's kind of crazy. I will give Arman this. The placement of his punch without no rear, leg footing on the ground, for him to just punch it with basically one leg in the air, it was kind of crazy for him to land that cross and just get him like that. So he ended up knocking Beneil pretty quickly, and he knocked him out pretty bad. But I don't know what it tells me, because we've seen Beneil get knocked out by Alexander Hernandez. So I don't really, it doesn't really say anything to me. In terms of like skill, yeah, they hit hard maybe, or maybe Beneil's just has no chin. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're both coming off fantastic wins, and especially for Arman Tsarukyan, I'm not the biggest fan of Arman. I forget that guy. But I mean, in terms of skill, he's one of the better fighters in the lightweight division. Really good wrestling, decent striking. One of the best guys to mix it up, right? And he has a really good ability at doing that. And for him to go out there and knock out Beneil when he doesn't really knock anyone out, for real, it was a big win for him. It got him in the top 5. Now he has this fight. This fight in particular, it's very interesting because I can see both sides truly winning, but I, for some reason, have this, I don't know, maybe it's just I dislike Arman a little more. I don't know what it is, but in terms of a skill for skill point of view, I just have it in my head that Charles Oliveira will hurt Arman Tsarukyan eventually in this fight and beat him. And that's just like, that's how I feel. And if we look at Arman's actual record, he's a good fighter. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect him. 21-3 record, like, he's a really good fighter. But if you look at the guys he's competed against, I mean, if you look at each one of those fights, right? when he fought Oliveira, OAM, let me just call him OAM. He got hit by a knee. You know what I'm saying? Go rewatch that fight. There were times where he got hit bad. Now he ate it, but he got hit bad in those fights, right? And he's against lower level guys. Obviously, he does have that loss to Islam Makhachev. He's trying to get that rematch. Even Davi Ramos connected on him to a certain degree. Now, Matt Frivola, they were scrambling, but Matt Frivola had moments in wrestling against him. Cristiano Gagos, I mean, there's that moment where he goes for the takedown and ultimately fails on his back, but he knocks him out though. I would say Joel Alvarez is probably a matchup that I think a lot of people should look at. Is Joel and obviously Charles Oliveira have a very like similar style in terms of striking, going for submissions, but I would say Joel, he has no urgency to get back up like Charles does, and Charles doesn't have a lot of urgency to begin with, but he has a lot more than Joel, and obviously Joel had like 4 broken ribs, okay, after the first takedown, or a broken rib. I shouldn't say 4, but he had broken ribs going into the first takedown. I don't really respect that performance, but it's probably Arman's one of his better performances ever, where you could truly dominate someone. And then obviously we all know what happened with Gamrot, baby. Gamrot 50-45 masterclass, baby. I'm just playing. It was a competitive fight. And obviously Gamrot just wanted it more in that 5th round, man. And I'm just sorry. Just facts are facts. And then Arman, after that loss to Gamrot, he went on a pretty good run. Beat Damir Ismagulov, dominated him. And then we got to talk about the Silva fight, right? He got rocked in that fight. And that's kind of why I feel like Charles is going to beat him. He got hit really good, really bad with a left hook, and I don't know, man. If Charles hits you like that, and Charles hits hard, it's a wrap. It's good night, Irene. And obviously, we already talked about his Beneil Dariush victory. Now, that's why I feel the way I feel. We've seen Arman. He gets, like, I don't know, like, it's weird. Like, if you just watch the fights, he actually gets hit. Like, he really does. And now, obviously, to fight, you're gonna get hit eventually. But when the competition gets higher and higher, now Joaquin Silva ain't nothing special, but still, when the competition gets higher and higher, these guys are going to be a lot more precise. These guys are going to be more calculated. And Charles Oliveira is one of the better finishers in the lightweight division. I mean, damn near half the top 5 he's finished, right? Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, you know what I'm saying? Michael Chandler. Like, these guys, right? He finished Beneil Dariush, right? That's what Charles does, bro. He brings the chaos and he knows how to fight in it. And Arman, for me personally, Arman's gonna have to wrestle like his life depends on it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see him winning, and he's gonna have to ground and pound the shit out of Charles Oliveira. Now Charles, he has an insane like record and a lot of fights. 34-9, truly experienced guy. I mean, he started this game when he's super young, but I mean, if you look at just his true run where he just started winning fights, I mean, we got to talk about the Kevin Lee performance. Now, obviously, Kevin Lee, good wrestler, took him down a few times, controlled him, did kind of what he wanted to Charles, but Charles had moments on the feet. It was a good competitive fight, and then obviously Kevin goes for the dumbest single leg of all time. Charles gets the guillotine. It's good night, Irene, right? Dominates Tony Ferguson, knocks out Michael Chandler to win the lightweight belt, and where he was getting hurt and it looked bad for him, but he was able to come back. Obviously, the Dustin Poirier fight, same thing, gets knocked down, able to come back, knees to the body, work him down, get the submission. And obviously, his Justin Gaethje performance, probably his best performance out of all his title fights. He fucking smoked him, bro. He went through hell, got up, and smoked him. And that's when the Charles Oliveira fandom was just out of control. And then Islam Makhachev put people back in reality. Because at the end of the day, as much as I like Charles, I don't hate him. His fans just kind of turn me off of him a little bit. But Islam reminded everyone this guy is human. He can get hit. He can be submitted. He's still the same guy, that fought Paul Felder. You know what I'm saying? That fight still happened. You know what I'm saying? These fights aren't fake, right? He's still that same guy sometimes. And he reminded people. Now, obviously, Islam Makhachev is extremely great. And he's one of the best goddamn fighters on the planet. So obviously there's no shame to losing to that guy. I'm not gonna say that Charles is a bum. No, it's not the truth. But he's not invincible. So there's a possibility where Arman could take him down, wrestle him to death, and maybe submit him or ground and pound him. That's what I see. And obviously we know, we talked about it already, Charles beat Beneil. So in this matchup, obviously, let's talk about the tail of the tape. I mean, Charles Oliveira comes with a record of 34-9. Is fighting out of Brazil, age 34. High to 5'10 and reaches 74. Arman Tsarukyan comes with a record of 21-3. Is fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Age 27, high to 5'7 and reaches 72.5. So obviously, Charles has the reach advantage here. Going into this matchup. Obviously, Arman's the way younger guy, but Charles still in his prime, so it's not too bad. 34 isn't a bad number, but this might be the last year of his prime. And this might be the last time he can really go for that title shot. Now, obviously, here's what I think. I think this is how it's all going to play out, right? I think the first round's going to be close. I think Arman's going to go for a lot of takedowns. We're going to see a lot of submission attempts from Oliveira. And I think it's going to be a good competitive bout. In that first round, maybe Arman wins, but when Charles starts putting that pressure on him, and the takedowns don't come as easy for Arman Tsarukyan, and if Charles can land that power, that left hook, the rear hook, anything he needs to start stumbling and crumbling Arman, he's gonna break down. If this was a 5-round fight, I would max bet Charles Oliveira, but here's the thing. I think Charles does finish him. And I just think he breaks him down. I think he breaks him down with power, pressure. And Arman's rarely does he ever get walked down. And Arman's not bad off his back foot, but it doesn't always happen to him. And if he gets walked down by someone and he gets broken down, I've seen him have these weird faces, these weird glimpses of kind of like quit a little bit. Especially in the Gamrot fight, where he's just tired, he's exhausted, right? It's a 5-round bout, but if he gets hurt the way Joaquim Silva hurt him, there ain't no coming back for Arman Tsarukyan. So that's kind of my pick. I think Arman beats Charles Oliveira. No, I don't think Arman beats. My bad. I think Charles Oliveira beats Arman via the second round club and sub. I just think he walks him down, he breaks him down. Leg kicks are probably going to be big for him here. And I just think the power is just going to be a little too much. And I mean, it's going to be hard to submit Arman Tsarukyan. He's a pretty good grappler. So I might just switch it just to knock out the TKO. I'm going to say Charles Oliveira by TKO. I think he finishes him. Because, I mean, Arman's a pretty good grappler. So I'm not going to say he submits him. But I just think he's the better finisher here. I just really do. I really do. Is there a world where Arman goes out there, puts on a wrestling clinic? Yeah, there is. But I don't know. I don't think, for some reason in this matchup, I don't think it happens at a high clip. And I just think Arman finishing him happens at a high clip I keep saying Arman. I think Charles finishing Arman happens at a high clip. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little retarded today. Barely graduated high school, y'all. Barely made. But yeah, again, I think Charles finishes Arman Tsarukyan via the second round via TKO. So that's the prediction. And that's kind of the breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. UFC 300. I mean, hey, we're almost there, baby. I will be streaming that event. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be dope. But yeah, love y'all. Goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. And yeah, baby, your boy eBay Fight Predictions. The evil Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan are going at it. I'm picking Charles Oliveira. In the famous words of Fuego, this is the ladder match for who is the legitimate father of Beneil Dariush. So I had to shout out Fuego because that was actually pretty funny. But yeah, besides that though, I could care less who wins, honestly. But my pick, I think Charles beats him via finish. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Go follow me on my social medias. And yeah, love y'all and goodbye. It's your boy eBay, and I'm out of here.
I'm gonna go check that out. And hey, subscribe to eBay's Fight Prediction. Let's keep the eBay Fight Predictions Nation growing.